Hi guys, welcome to Kalipso Deep Dive with Akilish, who is a software engineer at Google.
Like if you want to do something, you should ensure that you like that thing, because you can work for money, you can work for big titles and jobs and so only so long, and then it kind of burns you down. Don't burn the bridges, because these are the same smart people you're going to work with throughout it. And there is a perspective of those people also. Those are also not dumb people.
Yeah.
So we have to understand, we have to talk.
So like, what do you think for like the future generations to come? Like, do you think that they'll be like using like AI more, and like, do you think it'll affect like jobs? Like,
Yeah, like getting into the job industry. Would that be harder with AI, do you think?
I don't think it will be harder, but I do think that the fundamentals are not going away anywhere.
So if all of your belongings ended up on the bottom of the ocean, what's one thing you would dive deep for? So would you like to tell us a little bit about yourself?
Hi, my name is Akhilesh, and I am a software engineer by profession, by education, computer science graduate. I have been in the industry for almost 25 years, working in different places, in different teams, on different parts of the software stack, and I love my job.
Nice. Can you tell us a little bit about what led you to your current role right now in Google Trust and Safety?
Yeah. So currently I work in YouTube in a team called Trust and Safety. That's an area where when people upload something, when people view something, when people interact with each other or the videos, comments, some people are really nasty. They put some not so good things on YouTube. So our job is to make sure that we train the machines, we build systems which will detect these things, which we will remove very quickly from YouTube or take actions on it. If there are things like other non-bad things, like somebody is hijacking somebody's account, that's an area where we look into. And because YouTube is so big, a lot of my job also focuses on training machines to automatically detect that bad stuff and remove that.
So what did you do before like AI was like a big thing?
For me, fortunately, AI was always part of the job. So in the last 20 years-ish, one form of, we used to call it machine learning, now everybody calls it AI, but whatever I did in the past 20 years, ML was some part of it at every stage. So it's an evolution, or maybe the world is seeing a new thing with LLMs, but for software engineers working in the web domain, on grand systems, big systems, ML was always there.
I see. Like pressuring because everyone else is so smart. So like, would you say that it's better to like learn from them rather than like kind of like be jealous?
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think that thing is one thing that I learned in life. Like when I was a fresh grad and I came out of the school, I was like, wow, I'm one of the best people, then I should be like respected.
Yeah.
And then I see, oh, there are so many other smarter guys around. And it was a up and down thing for me, like sometimes jealous, sometimes learning.
Right.
We had good friends, but friends socially, but competition in the workplace. One thing that eventually happened was like I have a lot of good friends now who are really, really smart, and it's a very healthy learning environment. Like they grow, I grow. So it is always better to not be pressured, but learn and have fun while learning.
So what is some career advice that you'd give for aspiring software engineers or people in your area of like the job market?
Job market is changing drastically. It changes every few years, but career is a very long term thing. Like if you want to do something, you should ensure that you like that thing, because you can work for money, you can work for big titles and jobs and so only so long, and then it kind of burns you down. If it becomes a drag to go to office or your workplace, then you cannot sustain it. Find something that you love, and if you love it, keep doing it, because that energy grows over time. Like you find more and more things you learn, you enjoy more, you find more things to learn. So it's a cycle.
Right.
Versus like, I don't want to do this, it's boring, but I have to do, somebody pays me. That's not a good, good way.
And so for like someone like just entering the job market, how like would you take the first step, or like how did you take the first step to get into like such a competitive area?
I think, don't think of the job like when you are learning. The initial few years of job is a continuation of learning.
Okay.
So don't treat job as, if you're not learning something in the initial years of the job is probably not worth it.
Okay.
You should be working with smart people. You should be working with enthusiastic people on nice cutting edge things, which grows you as a skill.
Like in a team-based setting, how do you overcome like challenges both technically and non-technically? So whether that's like a team problem, like with connections or communication, or like an actual project that is hard to work on.
I think there are two different aspects that you are asking about. One is technical challenges. So there is no shortcut to a technical problem. You have to understand, you have to put time to think about it, get clarity about it, define solution, find options, choose the right option, and then go and actually build it. Because just having a solution in mind doesn't work.
Right.
You need to put it in the code, in the system somewhere, right? So it takes time. So technical challenges is sit, work, focus, and solve it, build it.
Yeah.
Non-technical challenges are a different ball game. Sometimes you have good friends with whom you can just say, let's do this, and both of them agree, and
Right.
everything is good.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like competing priorities. You want to do this, but I don't want to do this, I want to do that, right? Then a discussion starts. So one thing, a fundamental principle is nobody is bad in the world. Be respectful, always.
Okay.
Right.
So always talk, have a genuine conversation. Don't be overly angry. Sometimes you can get annoyed, but don't be overly angry. Don't burn the bridges, because these are the same smart people you're going to work with throughout it. And there is a perspective of those people also. Those are also not dumb people.
Yeah.
So we have to understand, we have to talk. If you come to a common page, it's good. If you don't come, then one of us basically have to say, okay, I don't like it, but we have to decide something, let's commit to this and let's move ahead. Because there's no point in just blocking without having an agreement. It's called disagree and commit. So you disagree and commit and move on.
Right.
There are many
Yeah.
other things to do.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's really helpful for us because I think like in lots of teams and like group settings nowadays, it's kind of hard, especially like miscommunication causes so many problems for us. So yeah, I think that's great advice.
Yeah. As well as like from like a really big company, like where you have so
Yeah.
many people working like on the same thing, and sometimes you have like miscommunication, like it could cause like a really big problem. So it's like really good like hearing this advice, especially
Yeah.
like because we're still learning. So
Yeah.
it's like
That learning never stops.
right.
Right.
So
yeah.
even when people retire, it's still
Yeah,
people are
so-
learning how to communicate.
Right.
It's just human life. It takes quite some time to develop that muscle to be respectful and be grounded, even in very severe disagreements.
Have you like faced an experience where that has happened to you personally, where like you've come to disagreement with a coworker or something? Like, how did you overcome that, or did you know to just be like respectful and just let it go?
It happens every day. Like, very rarely we start with like agreeing on something, because people come from different perspectives, have different solution paths, different thinking, different backgrounds. So most of the times we start with disagreement. Many times it also depends on how your day was, right? And it just takes time. At least in my life, it took me some time to manage the emotional states going
Yeah.
into meeting. What I did find interesting is don't go unprepared. Go prepared. There may be a disagreement, and you kind of have an inkling of what is going to happen. Don't take it personally. These are technical decisions, and people are still good.
Right.
As long as we believe that people are truly good, I think it is very easy to be respectful.
That's good advice. Yeah.
So what do you see for the future of engineering with the advancement of AI and like more?
It is definitely disrupted, completely disrupted, I would say. The software engineering that we were doing for 20 years, it has been transformed completely in the last 2-3 years,
Yeah.
particularly. Coding used to be a very hard task, very skilled task. I think that has been democratized now. What has not changed though is the ability to understand large code bases. If you are a software engineer of the future, you still need to understand how that system is built and dig. You should be able to zoom out and see the big picture. Yeah, this is how the general broad thing works. But if you want to know that there is a bug, or you want to change something and you want to see how does that thing that you see on the UI or that decision that the machine takes, how is it happening? You should be able to go to a file, a function, a line of code, or line of config. You should be able to, in like 100 to 100,000 lines code base, you should be able to exactly go to one line. Writing has become easier, reading skill is still required.
Right. Yeah.
So you still have to like understand what the code is, whether or not.
Yes,
There's no
that ability is still
Yeah.
required.
I think a general misconception, like even that I kind of have, is that like many software engineer jobs are going to be replaced by AI. Like I'm sure you've also heard of that. So what do you think about that?
I'm kind of dual-minded on that. I think a lot of software engineering jobs which require just code will be replaced because writing code is getting much easier now.
Right.
But on the other hand, I also think that because now you can build many things in the world much easily, we are going to build a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Building a lot of things require a lot of people to think and build and scale it up. I do believe companies are going to be leaner, but there are going to be many of them because
Yeah.
the world will be covered with software now.
Right.
Right? So I think it's changing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Jobs may not reduce, but jobs just drastically will be different.
Mm-hmm. So like, what do you think for like the future generations to come? Like, do you think that they'll be like using like AI more, and like, do you think it'll affect like jobs? Like,
Yeah, like getting into
Especially-
the job industry, would that be harder with AI? Do you think?
I don't think it will be harder, but I do think that the fundamentals are not going away anywhere.
mm-hmm.
You need to build it. It takes time to understand and build those fundamentals. Read a textbook, you go write a prompt, it will generate a code.
Yeah.
So you don't understand the code inside,
Mm-hmm.
which is okay to start with,
Mm-hmm.
but eventually you will have to understand that whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
It is important, very, very important for new generation to put time in the undergrad and grad and high school stage to understand maths, understand code, and understand what they are learning.
For you specifically, in your specific job, like in YouTube Trust and Safety, how would you describe your job, like to any high schoolers that are interested in going to what you do?
So every day is like you go to office, you think about what is the problem, what you can do about it, how do you do about it, and then do it.
So
That's the
you-
cycle.
Yeah, so you like build a product or an object to solve a problem, or
Yeah, or rather we can say, because we have built the fundamental systems,
Right.
now we go and use those fundamental systems, extend them to do even more things.
I see. Okay, well, that kind of brings us to the end of the interview. We have one final fun question for you.
Okay, so if all of your belongings ended up on the bottom of the ocean, what's one thing you would dive deep for?
Oh my goodness.
Like, what's the
Very
one
hard
thing?
question. I cannot figure out one thing for which I will dive into an ocean. But let's see. Probably my laptop I would go and get back.
Okay.
That's a fun toy that I
Right.
have.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you so much for coming to our podcast. Where can like people like follow your work at or get to know more about you online?
LinkedIn. You can search my
LinkedIn?
name on LinkedIn. And,
Cool.
All right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for coming.
Yeah, thank you so
All
much
the
for
best.
coming.
Thank you for
Right.
hosting me.